on the road with home training. Home trainer. Let's do it. So as you guys know, all of the commercial gyms or any places with large gatherings are currently on shutdown. So there will be no job in which I am actually in a facility. But I am doing home clients. Well, I'm not doing them, you know what I mean, training them. And we are on the road for our first client of the day. So we have a few, and it's time to get out there. Windshield wipers. That noise, it's gonna ruin the video. It's like too much gum in my mouth, ruins the video. So, anyways, a lot of people are at home, and you know, they're not able to get in the gym. Motivation is low to train, to work out. It's very normal, I think, you know. But I do have clients that are willing and able and thankful, grateful that I'm coming to their house to train them. So I've got a little bag of tricks. I've got a well thought out plan. And because I already have relationships with each of these individuals or groups, I know their exercise preference. I know, their injuries, limitations, strengths. So we're gonna have fun with this, you know. Don't know how long it's gonna last. If it's going really well, I might just stay with home training and possibly even dive a little deeper into assisted living training for seniors, which I had done a little bit of late last year. So, you know, I enjoy it. The only drawback of home training is when you're basically on the road, so it's eating up some time, where when you have everybody coming to you, you're just going one after another, like a server flipping tables, right? I'm flipping clients. Thought I was done flipping people when I was done wrestling full time. Well, I guess people, if I'm going to be on the road more, I'm going to be flipping off people on the road. All right, so guys, I'm going to do this little thing in phases. Keep my eyes on the road. Keep your feet on the ground. And keep reaching for the stars, as old Ed McMahon used to say, baby. This is rush hour now. I guess one dream came true and a nightmare began. What do you say, huh? You know, I was thinking, during this time when restaurants are pretty much closed up, you can still get carry out and things like that, and people, you know, stockpiling essentials from the grocery stores, that it'll be interesting to see if anybody does a study, or maybe if we come to that understanding ourselves, or outcome ourselves, that I think people are going to lose weight. You know, even though they're not getting in the gym as much, I think if people are, you know, watching how much they eat, they want to kind of conserve a little bit, even though they're sedentary, which is not good for either your overall physical or mental health. But I'm just interested to see how that's going to affect our overall obesity rate in this country, so US of A, in case you're watching overseas, and also in your country, wherever you might be. So, yeah, pretty interesting. It's spring, but it's snowed, and so it feels like winter again, but you know, it is what it is. And we're knocking out clients, you guys. 2 down, rocking it out. On the road to money, the road to physical health and human contact in limited doses, although there may be a lockdown here shortly. So this may be a short-lived driving gig unless I can kind of go undercover, but we'll see. So, yep, the hits keep coming, baby. Out there hustling. Nothing, no excuses. People are willing to train. I got my sanitizer. I might even use that as a thumbnail, actually. And just making it happen. So, wherever you are, guys, try to get some exercise in. Try to get some kind of movement. And now think about this as an outside, out-of-the-box thought on fitness, right? And movement. Why don't you clean out those closets or the basement or organize things, your office, home office, whatnot. If you're just like, watching the news and getting depressed, or instead of just binge watching Netflix, is, carve out, an hour of time. You don't have to go crazy, and just like start to organize things. You've got those long, someday I'll do this, I'll organize this, I'll, organize pictures, I'll do whatever. Why not do that now? You got time. One of the things I'm doing right now too is kind of trying to think back, to the good old days, 2-3 weeks ago, and what was important to you then? What was like your biggest concern? What were you focused on? And how times like this really cause a lot of reevaluation. I don't think as a society we're really in a full panic mode yet. It's only been less than a couple weeks that we've really started to see panic with people, grocery stores, hoarding, price gouging things, people being home from work. I mean, it really became real to me when my employer shut down, and it's like, oh, okay. But if you want to try to take a positive spin on things, right? The odds are in your favor, generally speaking, for if your overall wellness is there, if you're in certain age brackets, there's a strong chance you're not going to be gravely affected health-wise by everything with this virus. I know a lot of YouTubers are not saying the name of the virus for fear of getting demonetized. Not sure why, but you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about, y'all. You can see my girlfriend's influence with the y'all thing. But if you want to look at the glass half full on it, I think that for a lot of people, it allows you to kind of hit a reset button. Let's say we're economically wiped out, and everyone's kind of starting over, portfolios and jobs and whatever it is, right? Think about how successful people or the rich look at, how they look at money. And I've read a lot of different books on this, and I've seen examples, and I know this won't be popular, but it's an example. But Donald Trump, right? He has made a fortune and lost it like 7 times, right? Because it's almost like a game of Monopoly. It's like, oh, start over. Like, if you're getting the principles of wealth, the principles of success, then, as long as there's not some huge changes in our government as to how we can conduct our way of life in the United States and other countries, then, you almost get a reset button of sorts, right? Whether that means you get a government bailout, or you end up having to go into a different field, whatever it is, right? And so, look at the bright side and don't let it make you super anxious or worried or afraid, because this is one of those times where this is out of your control. You cannot, for this period, really determine, the outcome, how it affects you financially, how it affects your career. All you can do is control your attitude. Just like Viktor Frankl said in Man's Search for Meaning when he was in the concentration camp, they can do whatever they wanted to his body, but he controlled his soul, his thoughts, his spirit. And he could go into the deepest part of himself and look at his body as like a shell. And they could do whatever they wanted to that, but they couldn't control how he thought. And that's a good example. That's a really good reminder, I think, right now for us to hold on to and think, you know what? I can't control what's going on in the outside world, but I can control my response to it. So, you hear others talking about, there'll be opportunities. There will be opportunities for you to turn things around in your life, or to perhaps explore a new venture based on either societal need or opportunities that maybe took a lot of startup capital and things that are now going to be like pennies on the dollar. I'm just thinking a little bit ahead. That's where it could all go. I mean, we might have this thing under control in another week and it's back to business, but you have time on your hands right now, and you can use it and spend it any way you'd like. So start to think about those things. See where the trends are going to start going. Where could things go if the numbers are what they say? Think about your family. Do you have enough resources? What can you trim back on? What's more important? What's most important right now? We know your immune system, keeping your health strong. Whether you have a trainer like I'm doing, going to people's homes today, or whether it's dusting off that home workout equipment, and using that finally. But you can do some things for your health. You can eat a little better. You can relax and not let it get you down, but let it simmer around in your brain and start to think a little creatively, because you have the time to, and you don't have a lot of responsibilities or like distractions that are going to keep you from doing such. So think about that. I don't know if you guys have heard it, but I've heard a lot of people complaining about the overuse of quote-unquote social distancing. And they're like, it doesn't take calling it social distancing, it's just distancing. And what's funny is, I think that a lot of people complain also about there not being good communication, right? About not clarifying exactly what you want, and then too much gray area. So you got to have it one way or the other. Do you want to call it social distancing so people get an idea of what kind of distancing it is? Or if we just called it distancing, I think that leaves too many questions. Social distancing explains it well, so that's my thoughts. How about you? This may be a bad decision, but apparently the state of Michigan will be on lockdown for the next 3 weeks, effective noon tomorrow, right? So, on my way to my next client, I got a little wiggle room. So instead of eating lunch, I am going to go to a grocery store. More for social experiment or observation, just to see how maddening it is. It looks like it's completely packed. I would turn on my camera inside, but tensions are high, so you're gonna have to get my review and storytelling abilities for what I'm about to see. So, it's the end of the world as you know it, or as we know it, and I feel fine. Not even a sniffle or cough. Let's hope it stays that way. Knock on wood. All right. Let's see what happens. BRB. All right, guys, so I survived the grocery store. It was a pretty busy place to be. I still was able to get a cart and produce for the first time since I've been going to the grocery stores this month. It was starting to get a little thin. Meat was just about gone, except for the very expensive cuts. Those were all there. Frozen vegetables were decent. They did a good job restocking that. I did not make my way down the paper products aisle as I could not get into the aisle. And it was just more for my own curiosity than it was to purchase any. So got plenty of that, not like crazy amounts, but enough. You know, it's all good. There's still washcloths and a washing machine if need be. So got that done. The lines were to the back of the store, all the way to the back. So just got a few little extra essentials that I need. So just gonna try to still continue to stay on the keto diet as best I can. The good thing about that is that with all that high fat content, I don't get hungry, so my feedings can drop and I'm just fine. So pretty stocked for that. Life is good. And yeah, people were a little crazy. I'd say about 60% or more had gloves on and masks, and their own wipes and stuff like that. So only saw one argument, a guy that cut in line obviously, but he had one product, and he didn't really ask, he just did it. And then one of the attendants saw him and said, "Sir, were you in line?" And he's like, "You're accusing me of not being in line?" And she goes, "You know what, do whatever you want." People were walking out of the store and the security sensors are going off and no one's saying anything. They're just like, so I think that these poor grocery store workers are pretty fried. But I thought I overheard one saying that the store was closing at 3 o'clock today, which, of course, is going to drive more people in if it's public knowledge. But it's all good, just what it is. So I'm going to put these groceries away, get back on the road, because the training must continue. The end of the world isn't quite yet, or the end of my world at least. So, to be continued. All right. One more client to go. And then it's lockdown. So the day's going good. Everyone I've interacted with, for the most part, is keeping it light. You can tell a little bit of caution in the air, a little bit of unknown, and so far no one's losing it, which is good. Seeing travel pick up a little bit right now as it's closing in on 2 p.m. and I've already seen some government and state vehicles out kind of roaming around. I know that supposedly the lockdown in Michigan starts at midnight, so there's time to get some things done. The grocery stores are packed. There's a couple of ethnic grocery stores that are near me, and I see people with tons of bags of things walking out, and their parking lot's packed. So, a couple weeks ago, the hoarding and all of the buying of excess seemed a little bit, a little excessive, sort of like, if you're old enough to remember this, the Y2K, when it switched from 1999 to 2000, everyone thought the computers and everything else was going to shut down. And my parents, they definitely stored up. They had shelves and shelves of cans and beans and water. I mean, serious, like doomsday stuff. It was insane. And then that clock flipped over, nothing changed. But obviously, this is a lot different because it's not an if, it's a when. So we already know we're going to be isolated for a given period of time. I'm not sure because I've been going all day, but allegedly it's a 3-week period. And you're only allowed to leave for essential travel, which I'm assuming is the grocery store and any medical attention you need that is assumed to be an emergency. So, stakes are high. And anyone that I've ever worked for or knows me well knows that I don't play well inside the rules, coloring inside the lines. I mean, that one video a few days ago, I had my phone in my hand, no seatbelt on, and driving a mile to the grocery store. I caught some slack for that, let me tell you. I can tell you all. But, you know, obviously that's stupid. I shouldn't have done that. So I don't condone that. But, you know, we all do dumb things here and there. So I'll just admit some of mine. And, you know, it's this may be the last day that I will get to train anybody for 3 weeks or so. Outside of my girlfriend, perhaps her children, perhaps my son. Definitely myself. And the thing is, I guess, with that, I'll tell you what's going to happen, okay? If you haven't been working out at home yet, what's going to happen is, you know, you're going to want to start. Every time you're on social media, you're going to see trainers and fitness people putting up free workouts, you know, lots of videos on tips for home training. And I don't care if you look at the ones that I may post or anybody else. At the end of the day, you find the fitness information that you're comfortable with, that's easy to digest for you, and that you're actually motivated to do. So you might be dusting off your P90X or Insanity DVDs now, or if you haven't downloaded, I'm sure you can probably find that online anyways for free somewhere. But, you know, I don't care if it's like you're doing military style, where you keep it really simple with push-up variations, squat variations, crunch or plank variations, and you have no bands, no equipment. But for those of you who are outfitted with a nice little gym in your house, you're going to be able to go at it with a lot of different stuff. So kudos to you, rock it out. Earlier this year, I sold my adjustable dumbbells and bench and stuff. There's a little bit of regret. That stuff would have come in handy right now, but it gave me a lot more space and it allowed me to stay with my minimalist traditions, right? Things I've been doing, my minimalist movement. So it's all good. We are packed with food, toilet paper, most essentials that I don't think I left anything out until I realized I left it out. You know what I'm talking about. So while you guys are home, you know, try to keep a balance, a little bit of news and information, you know, getting along with your loved ones if you live with people, your family, your friends, your roommates. You're going to drive each other crazy sometimes. When that happens, try to watch your mouth. Don't say anything that is going to get you in trouble, because it's not like you can hop in the car and take off and cool off. So, you know, try to take a breath. This might even be a good time if you're looking at techniques like meditation or yoga, maybe doing some things like that to decompress. Some good mobility workouts. There's some good stuff online. I might be posting that. Mobility is still not my strength as far as what I can teach, but there's a lot of really good resources out there. So if you guys are interested in knowing some good free information and video follow-alongs, I could definitely give you that. Just go ahead and ask in the comments. And also, of course, because of the wonderful technology, I'm able to do some online training. So if you want to consult with me, or you want to email back and forth and send me a list of what equipment you have available and kind of a rundown of your health history and your limitations and your goals for this period of time, if you're locked down as well, or your gyms are probably closed, let me know. Keep it affordable for you. It doesn't necessarily have to be repeat standing appointments. I have all kinds of price points, so we'll make it work in your budget. And so that's available. If you want some very personalized, customized instruction, it's all good. I have my current client base I'm taking care of, but during this time, it's going to open up more time. So let me know. I'll be more than happy to help you get it done. And we can use a payout or PayPal if you want to take care of business. But if you're not doing that, that's fine. Do your thing. Try to stay healthy. It doesn't have to be hour, 2-hour marathons. It can be 10, 15 minutes, even several times a day if you want. And you'll be surprised how much happier it's going to make you, how much happier everyone around you is going to be as well, because you're getting rid of stress. If you're really unhealthy and you're not sure what you should do, less is more. And we are officially done training home clients. For the time being, what was supposed to be a short gym shutdown and then offering to come to my clients' homes and train them ends today, hopefully for the short term, hopefully for 3 weeks or less. And best case scenario, we get back to normal life. The gyms are open, people are able to go back to work, all of that good stuff. So we shall see. So that was the day in an at-home trainer. And yeah, that was it. So now it's time to hunker down, get resourceful, and make new things happen. So stay tuned, and stay safe, and stay healthy. Talk to you guys soon. Fuck it!